All right, let's talk about a very specific but very common kind of pain, that sharp radiating zing that hits right after you've been standing at the kitchen sink. We are going to break down exactly why washing dishes can be such a trigger for sciatica, and then I'm going to show you a ridiculously simple, no tools needed hack that could honestly change your entire cleanup routine. You know the feeling, right? You finish that last dish, you straighten up, and bam, there it is. That telltale signal shoots from your lower back right down your leg. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I promise you are not imagining it, and you are definitely not alone. Now, the solution we're looking at today, it's not some kind of miracle cure. And honestly, it's better than that. It's all based on simple, understandable body mechanics. Because once you actually see why this sink is such a perfect storm for this kind of pain, the fix becomes almost laughably obvious. So, what's really going on here? Well, the problem is something we can call the quiet hinge. See, washing dishes doesn't feel like some big strenuous workout, and that's the really sneaky part. You're holding a very specific, slightly hinged forward position that just quietly and consistently puts pressure on your sciatic nerve. And this slide, this gets to the heart of it. I mean, have you ever wondered why you can walk for 20 minutes and feel fine, but 10 minutes at the sink can cause a major flare-up? It all comes down to static versus dynamic load. When you walk, your whole body is moving. Everything's sharing the work. But at the sink, you're locked. You're stuck in that slight forward lean, forcing your back muscles to just hold on for dear life while your arms do all the work. Oh, but it gets worse. Let's add another layer to this, something we'll call the twist trap. Just think about your exact movements. You scrub a plate, you rinse it, maybe you turn to get more soap, and then you twist again to put the dish on the drying rack. It's that combination, that sustained forward lean, plus all those constant little rotations, that is the absolute classic recipe for irritating an already angry sciatic nerve. All right, enough about the problem. How do we actually fix this? The solution is what I call the cabinet footrest hack. And I'm telling you, it is so simple, you can literally set it up in the next 60 seconds without a single tool. Here are the 3 steps. It's dead simple. First, find something stable to put your foot on, and we'll talk about what works best in just a second. Second, open the cabinet right under your sink and place it inside. Now this is the key insight. The walls of the cabinet stop the footrest from sliding away from you. And third, just remember to switch which foot is up every 3 to 5 minutes. Super important for keeping things balanced. So, what do you use? Well, the number 1 rule is stability. A little step stool with rubber feet is perfect. A sturdy box or a plastic crate also works great. What you want to avoid is anything that can roll, slide, or tip over. Seriously, boring and stable is exactly what we're going for. And please, do not forget this number 3 to 5 minutes. It's so tempting to just prop one foot up and forget about it, but if you do that, you risk creating a whole new set of imbalances. The easiest way? Set a timer on your phone or just switch feet every time a new song comes on your playlist. It's a simple rhythm that makes a huge difference. Okay, so you have the basic setup down. Now, let's get into the fine-tuning, because these are the little details that are going to make this hack work perfectly for your body and in your specific kitchen. The height of your footrest is absolutely critical. You're searching for what I call the Goldilocks zone. Not too low, not too high, just right. I'd say start with something just a few inches high. The goal is simple. You should feel like you can stand closer to the sink without having to bend your back to reach into it. With one foot up, you're creating what we can call a stable triangle. You've got one foot on the rest, one foot planted firmly on the floor. This posture naturally lets your hips come forward, getting you closer to the counter. Remember to keep your knees soft. The feeling you're going for here is stability coming from your legs, not tension in your back. And this brings us to one of the most powerful ideas in this whole thing. You can stand there and tell yourself, don't twist, 100 times. But if your drying rack is off to the side or behind you, you're going to twist. It's inevitable. This is where we stop trying to rely on willpower and start relying on a smarter layout. You change the environment. This is what I call the front arc fix. Imagine an arc right in front of you that you can reach without turning your body at all. Your job is to move all your most used items, your soak, your sponge, and especially your drying rack into that arc. I'm telling you, moving the drying rack is probably the single biggest change you can make to escape that twist trap. But what if your under-sink cabinet is totally packed? Or what if you tried this and it's just not giving you the relief you hoped for? Don't worry, there are some great alternatives and a few key things to double check. So, Let's just break down the options. If the leaning forward part is what really gets you, the cabinet footrest is your best bet. But if just standing for a long time is the main problem, a tall stool might actually be better. And if it's more about your feet getting tired and that twisting motion is the real villain, try an anti-fatigue mat combined with that front arc fix. That alone could be a game changer.
Now, you have to be careful you're not making one of these common mistakes because they can totally cancel out the benefits. Even with a foot up, if your hips are way back, you're still in that bad hinge. If your feet are glued to the floor while your upper body twists, or if you're locking your knees and just trying to endure it, you're defeating the purpose. The key is to stay close, keep your knees soft, and move everything into that front arc.
So really, the best way to know if this works is to just try it. I want you to think of this as a simple, one-change experiment that you can run tonight, the very next time you're at the sink. You know, my favorite piece of feedback from someone who tried this was a text that just said, "I'm annoyed this worked." And isn't that just the best possible outcome? A solution so simple, so effective, that you're almost mad you didn't think of it sooner. Remember, the goal isn't to become some kind of posture expert. It's just to do the dishes without pain. So let's summarize the entire strategy into what we can call the 3-lever sink fix. Number 1, layout. Move that drying rack into your front arc. Number 2, footrest. Use a stable object to change the load on your back. And number 3, rhythm. Switch sides every few minutes. Layout, footrest, rhythm. That is the entire playbook right there. Ultimately, the theory is sound, but the only opinion that truly matters here is your body's. So, what do you say? Are you ready to run the experiment tonight and let your body cast its vote?